Big Ed from 90 Day Fiancé has filed for bankruptcy, not once, but twice. Guys, happy Sunday. I know my hair, I need to shave, I look ridiculous. I know you don't have to tell me in the comments. I saw some breaking news on social media, and even though it's a Sunday, I figured I would just love to try to make your guys' day and share this 90 Day Fiancé news with you guys ASAP. So please avoid the look and let's talk about what is going on with Big Ed. It seems like every single day there is new and just crazier and crazier drama on this guy. So 2 days ago on May 15th, a handful of different blogs like Starcasm and others found this news. So let me just read to you guys what the debt is, what the whole situation is, and then I will share my kind of crazy thoughts on what this whole thing is going on. So first off, let's just read how much he was in debt. It was two different situations. Number one, it happened in 2004. He had $133,000 in liabilities. I would assume liabilities means in debt, but that kind of stuff just goes way over my head because it is way over my intelligence level. So I would assume in the first bankruptcy filing in 2004, he had $133,000 in debt. And it sounds like he even had some pretty crazy credit card bills and he even had student loans. So anyway, that was 2004. Then he ends up, filing it. He files for bankruptcy. He, I guess, gets cleared of everything. Then we fast forward to 2017, only 3 years ago, and we saw this, that he filed for bankruptcy in 2017 for $185,000. Okay, so you might be wondering, well, what does these two separate amounts, this $100,000 plus amount and the $180,000 amount really, come from? Well, in 2004, I have a little break overview from Starcasm, and this is what it kind of comes out to. All of the money that he has owed is just kind of stupid stuff. Like he owed $700 to Bally Fitness. I think it's just a gym. I mean, like $700. That seems like so much money just to a gym. And then he had a handful of medical bills, probably 10 grand or so in medical bills. He had about 7 grand or so in credit card payments. Then he also had $89,000 worth of student loans, which is absolutely insane. Unfortunately, with all this student loan crap going on, it seems like that's kind of a common thing. I didn't go to college, so I can't even comment, but geez, that seems like a ton of money in just student loans. Especially because he is a photographer. I didn't think the guy even went to college, so I don't know, that seems really weird. And then in 2017, his bills were around just the same kind of stuff. Car payments, credit cards, this and that. He didn't seem to have anything crazy on the debt that was unbelievable that he was spending his money on. It just seemed like a lot of crap that he maybe possibly could have avoided besides the medical bills. There were a couple grand worth of medical bills, and that sadly is probably unavoidable. Now let me just say first, that I'm not bashing Ed for, being broke, not having any money. It is unfortunate. Hopefully, the guy can kind of get back on his feet, even though I'm the first to admit I am not a fan of Ed at all. I'm not here to bash them. We've all, including myself, been down on our luck. So maybe Ed was just going through some tough times. What I am here to talk about is, first off, that is his debt situation. That is what is, has been going on. It seems like he has been making around $52,000 a year, and you have to remember, he lives in California, so I don't really know how much money that is equivalent to, like, if you live in the Midwest, because the cost of living is so much higher in California. But here is the craziest part for me. That is his salary, that was his debt. Crazy thing is, what is this guy doing trying to kind of like inherit, or I don't even know what kind of word I would use, but what is this guy trying to do, trying to get involved with a woman and a kid? Because clearly, this guy for the past however many years, 20 years, has not been able to afford himself. I mean, clearly, I don't mean to be rude to this guy, but it's like Ed hasn't really been able to take care of himself financially, considering that he's filed for bankruptcy twice. And it's like, why is he trying to bring over a woman and her kid? And it's like, I don't think his salary has really gone through the roof or anything, since all this stuff in 2017. Now, he did say that he got another job in interior design. I thought that was odd, but maybe, clearly the guy doesn't have much money and he needs the extra work, it seems like. But still, even with this extra job, would he really have had the money to support Rose and Prince? And the other thing is, with all this debt stuff and bankruptcy stuff going on, would the guy really have been able to send Rose $5,000? $100,000. Because remember, at the start of the season, Ed said on multiple different occasions that he sent her $5,000 worth of stuff, and yes, shipping was included in there, but that is like more than that guy's monthly salary. There's no way, in my opinion, that he would be able to send her that much money. And the other thing, too, that you have to consider is, number one, now we know clearly why he never gave Rose's sister any money. And there was also a scene in one of the first episodes when Rose and Ed were together where Rose was kind of like tipping people that were working at those kiosks in the Philippines, and Ed was freaking out. Well, now we kind of know why, because it doesn't seem like he's really rolling around in money. The craziest part, though, is if Ed and Rose would have stuck it out and stayed together, and she would have wanted to come over here and marry him, there is no way that the US government would have allowed him to get a K-1 visa and to let her come over here, because clearly he can't support her and her son, and she wouldn't even be able to work in the US for however many months or maybe even years. So there's no way that they would have gotten approved, which is just my big, gigantic point that I'm trying to make in this video, which is that Ed is full of BS and that he just went on this show for the fame. I don't know if the guy thought he was gonna become famous and just start rolling around in a bunch of money. I don't think that is the case, even though he does seem to be doing a lot of cameos. I don't know who is buying these things, but he does seem to be getting a lot of cameos. And yes, I said it in my last video, Ed did launch a t-shirt line, which I would be blown away if anyone actually bought any of his clothes. I mean, he had a face mask, he had a bandana. I think it's like a doggy bandana because he has Teddy, his dog, who is an extremely cute dog. But still, who would ever in a million years ever buy any clothes from Ed's line? But maybe he's making enough money to get by now. I don't know. I just think the whole situation is so weird because this guy he wasn't talking like he was rich, but he kind of was. Like, he was really talking about Rose's living situation, and he was kind of like talking down to her. But, I mean, God, he probably doesn't have much more money. I mean, in the Starcasm post, at one point in his 2004 bankruptcy filing, he said that he had like $60 to his name or something. He had like, seriously, no money. And then in 2017, he literally said that he had $0 in his bank. So it's very likely that Rose could maybe have more money than him. I really don't know, but it's also just kind of like, he's definitely not some kind of a rich big shot that he was kind of acting like. And I'm sorry guys, but it's just another reason why I can't stand this guy. And I am about this close. I'm so close to starting a change.org petition to get Ed off TLC and 90 Day Fiancé. I know it's probably a spiteful, rude thing. The more I watch this guy, the more I see him, the less I like him. And I saw a bunch of people, signed up for a change.org petition on getting Lisa off the show. And people did the same thing with Jeffrey, and they actually got Jeffrey off the show. So I wouldn't mind getting Ed off this show. He is kind of entertaining, but also like, he's really not that entertaining, I think, at least. I think, if anything, he's just so weird, he's so awkward, he's so cringy, we kind of can't stop watching him. But it seems like the guy also kind of has a darker-ish side. So that is just my take. Sorry for the little rant. I know it's a Sunday. I thought it was interesting to see and hear, and I wanted to share this news with you guys ASAP because it is kind of a contradiction that Ed was running around acting like he really had some money, and Rose was kind of, below him, lower income. And now we find out that in 2004, the guy only had $60 to his name. And in 2017, he literally had nothing, which I am not money shaming. Like I said earlier, everyone, including myself, has always been down on their luck before. I just think it's odd that he was trying to bring a woman over to the US who has a kid, and he clearly, more than likely, cannot support them. That is just my 2 cents. And for everything else, guys, we have a new episode of 90 Day Fiancé on tonight, and I am ecstatic, and I am very excited to watch it. I will keep you guys in touch tomorrow on Monday morning on what happens. In the meantime, make sure to comment, like, subscribe, and let me know what you think of this Ed bankruptcy situation. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for many more.